Hello everyone, how are you doing? Today we will watch a short retelling of the movie Final Destination 3. Graduate Wendy and her friends go to have fun at an amusement park in honor of graduation. The guys decide to ride a roller coaster. Before boarding, Kevin and Jason toss coins to find out who will ride in the front and who in the back. Kevin, Carrie's boyfriend, gets a seat next to Wendy, who initially didn't want to go. While preparations are underway for the launch of the attraction, a creepy vision comes to Wendy. As a result of a leak in the hydraulics and a faulty design, the trailers will derail, and all passengers will die. Wendy wakes up and shouts that she wants to get out. The stewards open the rear trailers, releasing Wendy and Kevin. An impatient Louis starts a fight, demanding that they be kicked out, while several other passengers who are tired of waiting leave. Before the start of the ride, Jason tries to get out to help Wendy, but the attendant ignores him and launches the slide. Wendy desperately tries to stop the ride, but it's too late, and Wendy's fears are confirmed when she sees the trailers flying off. They witness a terrible accident in which Wendy's boyfriend dies. One day later, a frowning Wendy is carrying books from school. Kevin tries to cheer her up. The two survivors, Ashley and Ashlyn, also try to cheer Wendy up by inviting her to the solarium, but Wendy refuses. She goes to her car, but is stopped by Kevin, who tells her about the events of the previous film. Wendy doesn't believe him and leaves. Returning home, the girl looks at the photos she took with her camera on the night of the accident. Meanwhile, Ashley and Ashlyn visit a tanning salon. Wendy sees ominous signs in the photos, and at this moment Ashley and Ashlyn are killed when faulty booths burn them alive. At their funeral, Wendy showed Kevin her pictures that she had taken before the accident. On one of them, Ashley and Ashlyn are depicted with a red tint from the lanterns. The photo shows their death. After the funeral, Wendy admits that she now believes that death has come back for the survivors. Wendy and Kevin find out that Frankie is next, since he was sitting behind Ashley and Ashlyn. They arrive at the Mac car, and at that moment a truck breaks off the brakes and drives straight at them. Wendy and Kevin escape from the car before the truck collides with the car, causing the motor to fall out to the front of the car, and the fan belt blows off half the driver's head. Wendy and Kevin are horrified when they recognize the dead driver as Frankie. They understand that the keys to the death of the survivors are hidden in the photos. The guys guess that Louis is next, and finds him in the gym. He refuses to believe that death is coming for him. While working with weights, two decorative sabers cut the safety wire. Louis continues the exercises, as a result of which two weights flatten his head. After that, Wendy realizes that John is next. John and his girlfriend Erin work at a hardware store. Wendy and Kevin come there to warn them. They laugh at them, but at this moment, Wendy calculates the cause of John's death and pushes him aside before he would be covered with boards. After the guy was rescued, death moved Karen, who fell headfirst onto the nail gun. Later, Kevin works as a security guard at the party. Wendy is trying to find the causes of their deaths. While searching, she is horrified to discover that her sister, Julie, was on the slide and she is next. Kevin finds her at the fair. Suddenly the horse breaks loose from its leash, and the rope to which it was tied wraps around Julie's neck. The horse drags her along. Julie almost stumbles into a harrow, but Kevin saves her. Wendy arrives at the scene and asks her who was sitting next to her. It turns out to be Perry, who is pierced by a flagpole launched by a horse. Death then moves towards Kevin, and the cause of his death is a firecracker. In the photo he is blinded by a flash. But Wendy pulls Kevin out of the way of the explosion. At this time, John appears. Wendy remembers that she was wearing a school shirt that night on the roller coaster, which makes her think that John caused her death. Wendy tells John to stay away. However, he wants it to end with Wendy. Wendy sees that the fireworks will kill her. Salute charges are launched and fly in their direction, but they fly past and hit a huge signboard. The sign begins to fall. Ian looks up and the sign falls on him, crushing him in half. It seems that death has missed Julie, Kevin, and Wendy. 5 months pass by. Wendy is riding with friends on the subway. When the girl wants to get off the train, she meets Julie and they drive on. The girls recognize one of the passengers as Kevin, who explains to them that he is traveling from home to get to the match. Suddenly, the train derails and all the passengers die a terrible death. Julie smears the head of the car wheel, Kevin flies out of the train window. Wendy, a survivor of the accident, notices a train rushing straight at her. But because of the foot stuck in the sleepers, it turns out to be helpless. But a second later it turns out that it was a vision. Kevin starts pulling the brake handle, but the train doesn't stop. He starts driving even faster and a moment later the sound of a train wreck is heard. That's how this movie ends. If you liked the retelling, write comments, subscribe to the channel. There will be more videos in the future. See you later.